Hello guys, this is Reza and welcome to our Python tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to learn how to get input from the user, how to ask the user to insert something, take that and use that in your program. In order to do that, we'll go through an example. If you want to take an input from the user, first of all you have to use the function input. And then you have to prompt the user what you want him or her to insert. It is very important to notice that whenever you want the user to do something, you have to notice him. You have to tell him clearly what he is supposed to do. And then the user doesn't mistakenly insert something which is not acceptable. For example, here we want to ask the user to insert his name. So we say, please insert your name, and then we'll wait for the user to insert his name. But what happens after the user inserted his name? We have to put it in a variable. So we will create a variable called, for example, name, and then the output of the function input goes inside the name. So what does this function do? This is a pre-built function in Python 3. It is available for you. You don't need to implement it. It is previously implemented. You only need to call this function. How? Writing the input keyword and then writing the prompt message that you want to tell the user. After this line of code gets executed, the user is prompted with please insert your name, and the cursor waits for the user to insert a name and then press enter. Imagine that you want to take the age of the user as well. So we will write age equals to input, and then we will ask the user how old are you? And then we'll wait for the user to insert his age. I missed a D. Alright. Now we want to print user inputs. So we'll write print. I will say, for example, hello, and then the name. As you remember, you can concatenate these strings together using plus. So hello, and then the name, because we know that this name is a string. Plus, then with \n from the tutorial strings, you remember that \n goes to the next line. And then we write you are, and then we will put the age. Let's run this program. Please insert your name. I will insert my name. And then how old are you? 34. It says, hello Reza, you are 34. The important thing to notice is that the output of this function input here is always a string. So the age here is also a string. It is not a number. So you cannot write, for example, age plus 1. If you do, for example, age equals to age plus 1, it will give you an error. Insert the name, Reza, age 34. And then when Python gets to this line, it gives you an error. If you wanted to use this age as a number, you had to change this input into number. How do you do that? With the keyboard int, and then put everything in the parentheses. But what happens behind the scenes? Input, how old are you, gets an input from the user, which is his age, and then returns it as a string. Then this int function gets the return statement, which is a string containing a number, and then parses it, changes it into an integer number. So age would be an integer number from now on, and it would be able to add 1 to it. But the problem is that here again it cannot print it because now it is an integer number. So you have to change it again to a string. Now the code works. Write your number, for example, John, and for example, he is 44 years old. And now we have to get, hello John, you are 45. Hello John, you are 45. Let's just see what happened again together. We will ask the user to insert his name, input waits until the user inserts some word and then presses enter. Name as a string is put inside this variable. Then the user is asked to enter his age. Age is a number, but the output of input function is a string. So we change it to number and put it in age. Add 1 to it. And now we want to print everything. If there is a number, we have to change it again to string and write it. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have got any question, please ask me in the comments below. I will answer them as soon as I can. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and encourage us to create more videos. Have fun and don't forget to practice.